What did you think of the rankings? What stood out to you as a positive and a negative?
Well, I guess you wanted me to start with a positive. I like that, Mike. You're good at your job. I'll try to find a positive. I'm positive, and I'm happy that we're not doing this with like 5, 6 and 7. I'm happy we're doing this like down the list. But we got a college football playoff system that just put in 2 group of 5 teams, and I'm not disparaging JMU or Tulane. Tulane got beat by 5 touchdowns to Ole Miss when they played them. They're going to play them again. But any system in which we have that as 2 of the top 12 teams in college football, it's broken and it needs to be fixed. And last year we saw the 4 teams that got the buys needed to be fixed. We fixed it immediately. This year there's an immediate fix that we wouldn't even be having this conversation if we had one simple fix. And if we took the highest rated conference champion from each team, the ACC would have got one in with Miami. That would have satisfied that, because it doesn't have to be a conference champion. The highest rated team from each conference. Check. Oh. Miami's in. Now Notre Dame's in as well. And JMU's out. And there's not this much uproar, and there shouldn't be this much uproar when 2 teams are taken by G5 teams.
Are you worried then about what that does to the sanctity of conference championships as like games themselves?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to disappear. It's only a matter of time, and I hate that. I absolutely hate it, because I think there's just something to, man, knowing that I run this conference. Like winning the conference every year. And I guess this is kind of like the old school in us, right? Like, because this used to actually matter when we played. Like the conference championship was step 1 in a major direction. And listen, there was only two teams that were playing for it all. This is a different world we're living in now. Like, right? Like it's playoff or bust. And so you just want to be one of those teams, whether you're in the conference championship or not. So it's going to get rolled into there, because what happened on ACC or on championship weekend? What of significance happened? That was a heck of an Indiana-Ohio State game. Love we got to watch it. Didn't change anything. Okay, Indiana's 1, Ohio State's 2. Georgia's still 3. Alabama's still 9. Like, the only thing that changed was the ACC dropped out with Virginia. And then obviously you threw a group of 5 team in. It doesn't have the meaning. It's going to be rolled into a bigger, more robust playoff schedule, which will be good, because again, we're past the days now. If we're going to make it all playoff or bust, we need more teams in the playoff, because we're firing coaches because of that. And college football is not going to get better because of that.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to 16. I think that's just a matter of when. Mike and I, both Notre Dame guys, we didn't have a problem with Miami jumping Notre Dame. Our problem was the committee didn't do it 3 weeks ago when they were close to one another and just say, hey, Miami had head-to-head, and they're ahead of Notre Dame. I know I had a problem with Alabama, now the second power conference team over the last 5 seasons, to lose their conference championship game and not fall in the CFP rankings to go along with TCU in 22. Were you surprised the way Alabama got hammered in the conference title game, that they didn't fall at least a spot?
Yeah, and to me, it's not even, Mike, it's not just the SEC championship week. They lost 2 out of their last 3 games. Oklahoma was one of them, remember? But they've been leaking oil for a while. Like, this is not a team that's, y'all know this because y'all played the game. Like, what started the season isn't what ends the season. And a lot of times you get momentum, you get injuries, and whether you're going like this or going like that. And that would be my argument for Alabama. When I watched Alabama, extremely one-dimensional, they're not on the upswing. They're very much kind of been trending this direction a little bit down. Now, listen, they got a chance to prove all of us wrong. And when they had that earlier in the season when FSU embarrassed them week 1, it motivated the heck out of them. But Notre Dame has been playing pretty consistent, and I think they were playing their best football. I argued that Notre Dame was one of the teams that I think could win this thing. There's not many, but I would have put them in that mix. So to not have that in the college football playoff, I think it ticks everybody off. It makes everybody feel some kind of way. It's not an Alabama problem. It's not a Miami problem. Like it's a committee problem. It's a ranking problem that JMU and Tulane are both in. That's a problem. That's the biggest problem of all this to me.
So those are the issues there. You mentioned you would have had Notre Dame in over Alabama, and I think overall, something else you hinted on kind of gets us to the next debate that's been raging in the last 24 hours is, you mentioned it's become a playoff or bust mentality based on the structure of the sport. Notre Dame follows up that decision by choosing to opt out of the bowl game. They were going to potentially go play BYU in the Pop-Tart Bowl. They decided, hey, we're going to stay home and get on with 2026. Based on that mentality, do you have a major issue with that decision from them?
Well, I would have a major issue if the coaches decided this. This is a player decision. And when the players come to you, when you seek out your player council and your captains, and this is something that they want to do, as a coach, you already have opt-outs. Like, you already have those that are going to be there. Like, the opt-outs, you're not going to be the same team nowadays, right? Like, that all changed years ago. So you're going to have your opt-outs and people that don't play. And you got coaches every year that complain about this. They're like, I got 8 guys that come to me and say, hey, coach, I don't want to get hurt for the NFL. And you're like, you're not even going to play in the NFL. What are you talking about? Like, finish. So, like, it's kind of a weird conversation for coaches. But, man, like, I understand it. I understand they're frustrated. Would I do it? No. Like the reason I wouldn't do it, Golix, is because, like, as a coach, I love the practice. I love the last chance with the dudes. I would hate that I had to walk off the field knowing that a couple weeks ago that was my last time. I didn't even know it. Like, some of those kids didn't even know it was their last shot. Now, listen, they talked about it as a team. They might not have had a squad because of how many people would have opted out. But that's a disturbing trend that I hope doesn't continue.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think it will. Even though coaches do get 15 practices, you can count. You can play a redshirt kid, and it doesn't count against them. And like you said, there's 20-some, 30-some seniors on a team. Maybe a couple are going to go to the NFL. The other seniors get to play their last game. But that brings I think it was Rick Neuheisel that had this idea, because the bowl games are going by the wayside. There's just nothing to them anymore. I think Rick Neuheisel, I think it was him who brought up the fact, take opening college football weekend and make those the bowl games. The games count. It's your regular, it's whoever you are, like Notre Dame and Miami started the season off in week 1. Make it a bowl game. Make it the Pop-Tart Bowl. Make it the Mayo Bowl. Make the opening weekend's bowl games, and that way these bowl games have meaning.
They have meaning then. So week 0, make it week 0. Make the money go to the NIL. So now you've got, like, this helps your program with obviously bringing in money to pay for all the stuff that you got to pay for. But in order to do that, you'd have to drastically expand the playoffs, because, listen, the playoff or bust mentality is awesome, and that is a Power 4 thing. Well, think about it. When you've only got this year 10 spots for Power 4 teams, for 68 Power 4 teams to go into 10 spots, like, that's not good math. Like, but you still have the other schools that want to go to bowl games. Now you can provide them the opportunity, obviously, that aren't just in the Power 4 in week 0. I think it would be good. In the NFL, again, half the teams make the playoffs. We want more of an NFL model. We're pushing towards that. Well, half the teams make it. That's not the case of what we have here in this system. So I agree. I think there's some standard to it. Like, But listen, the whole college football calendar sucks, and it needs to be fixed. And the only people that can fix it, the coaches want to fix it. Like, the coaches are very clear. They want to fix it. All these presidents that make all this money that do very little, like, they need to start getting in a room and figuring this crap out, because you can't have the situations that college football is so special. It's so great. And we're doing our best, man. We're trying to screw it up. And it's hard because we love this crap so much, and we love our schools and we love our squads, that we're going to watch and we're going to have passion. And this is passed down from granddad to son to grandson. Like, this is such a great thing, and it does so many good things. But what we have now has to be fixed. Like, we fixed some of it last year. Let's get together and fix all this stuff, man. Let's find some way to work together. Not just the people at the top making the decisions, the coaches, the players, everybody get together and try to fix what we have in college football, because it's the greatest sport on the planet.
And it's one where we've seen even more teams. It felt like in the last couple of years that have an opportunity to do something. Now, you said earlier, as we look ahead to the actual games, we'll have plenty of time to preview them, but you said you only believe there's a handful of teams that can win the championship this year. Who do you think those are as we now stack the 12-team field?
Yeah, I haven't. I would. I know that Ohio State can win it. I know that Indiana can win it. They just proved to you that. And I know that Georgia can win it. Outside of that, like, I think Oregon could win it. So, like, as the SEC's got the most teams in, if you ask me to pick the conference I think is going to win it, I think the Big Ten's going to go for 3 in a row. Like, I think the top of that league is very strong. Why do I say that? It's quarterback play, man. Like, the quarterback play of those teams are elite. Texas Tech, obviously, elite level defense. Offense, serious question mark. Georgia's offense isn't elite, but I think they know who they are. They have enough to kind of sting you. So those would be the 4-man that I would look at. 3 from the Big Ten and 1 from the SEC. I would put as the clear favorites in this thing.